patient was prescribed 175 milligrams of a drug. So this is what we want to give to our patient. A neurosuspension, 125 milligrams per 2 mils is available. So that is what we have in stock. That's the concentration of the drug, how much you need to give. So that's another box method, because we have two quantities here connected with that per, so a ratio, and the third quantity, the 175 milligrams, the blue number there, matches with one of those two in the ratio. So we can confidently draw our box and enter the elements into the box. We always start with our have, the two quantities, because if we place two quantities into the box, the third quantity will have only two possibilities for us to choose where to enter it. So let's enter the 125 milligrams, always writing the unit in with the quantity, 2 mils, like a fraction, 125 milligrams per 2 mils. So that's entered. Now we have the 175 milligrams to place, top or bottom. Must sit on the top because we have milligrams needing to match with milligrams. So the three quantities are in the box. Our question now is what the volume is going to be. So we could do just an estimate in our head. So 125 goes up to 175. It doesn't actually go up twice, it's not doubled. So we know that the 2 mils will have to go up as well, but it won't be 4 mils, it's not doubled. It's not even 1.5 probably. So let's do the full calculation instead of just the estimate. We multiply the two numbers in the main diagonal, this diagonal that has two quantities. So we're going to multiply 2 times 175 and divide by 125. It's very important to write this equation here before you move on to maybe even using a calculator, because then you have all the elements you need to calculate in front of you and you won't miss anything. So as I said, we could go straight into the calculator. We haven't used the calculator yet because all the quantities were very easy to simplify before. So we would simply push 2 times 175 divided by, that fraction line here means the same as divided by 125. So this is using the calculator, and I simply get 2.8. 2.8 what? Well, the question mark sitting here means it must match with the mils, and the question also says how much needs to be given. So 2.8 mils. We wouldn't round this because we probably can measure this using the syringe that would probably be have the calibration for choosing 2.8 mils. Now let's say we didn't have a calculator or you wanted to do this calculation in your head. So I'm just copying the same equation again, and you would look at that and see 175 top, 125 on the bottom. They both could be divided by the same number. We don't need to divide necessarily by the highest one. That would make the calculation really quick. But in terms of making it easy, you could divide by the first number that comes to your mind, which is, in this case, 5, because both end in 5. So you would say, well, you might even need to do a little calculation on the side, like 775 divided by 5. 5 into 1 doesn't go. 5 into 17 goes 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15, so we have 2 left. 5 in 25 will be 5, so 35. So we know here the top would have been 2 times 35, and the bottom we needed to now divide 125 by 5. 5 into 1 doesn't go, but 5 into 12 goes twice. 2 5s are 10. There's 2 left. 5 into 25, 5 again. So the answer here for simplifying 125 by 5 would be 25. And then you could probably just do it in your heads. 35 and 25 can be broken down again. Both can be again divided by 5, which means we could have done the division by 25 at the start, but it's so much easier to work with smaller numbers. So let's see what we get here. The 2 is still there. We're always copying all the elements. 5 into 35, 7 times. 5 into 25, 5 times. So now I cannot simplify any further because 5 and 7 don't break down by the same number. Neither do the 2 and the 5. So we just multiply the top. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 divided by 5. So here we probably would do a division again. 14 divided by 5. Let's place the decimal point at the end in case we need it. So 5 into 1 doesn't go, but 5 into 14 goes twice. 2 5s is 10. So we have 4 left. We can add extra zeros here. 5 into 40, 8 times. So final answer, 2.8. And again, I have to always go back and check where in the box that quantity, that is the answer is, to make sure it matches the original unit. 2.8 milliliters.